So what's it like going through the 9 months? Does he change or does it get worse?
I assume you know a lot about narcissists, right? You know what they do. So
Mhm.
he immediately put me in finance. I immediately started having financial problems because of all his promises. It, basically what happened was this. He made a lot of promises. He acted like a specific kind of person and he just wasn't that person. And I was embarrassed, to be honest with you. I was ashamed because I felt like I had done the dumbest thing, by marrying someone at that age like that. I'd never been around somebody like that. So I forgave a lot of things. Of course, that was my bad. But he just drank and disappeared for a couple of days and he didn't make any money and eventually I was supporting us. It just was a bad situation all around. But his injury was from a car accident. It wasn't from a sports injury. He was in a coma for 10 days and he actually died, came back to life. So he's got some serious brain injuries, I
How did
believe.
you find that out?
Well, I know that was a big deal. I mean, he was the starting pitcher at the high school that he went to in San Antonio, and that ended his baseball career.
So did he share that with you? Because you're
Oh, the
dealing with a
parents,
parents sharing it
parents,
with you. Did the
yes.
parents have any mental illnesses that you're aware of? Because you said when you went to court, your in-law, which was your father-in-law, was just as abusive to you as your husband. So was there some type of mental illness there too with both of them? And more importantly, how can you believe the parents if the father-in-law is also basically demonstrating the same behavior patterns as the son?
So, okay, you asked. Here it goes. He was adopted. His parents eventually divorced. And, it was years later when I realized my ex father in law had done the same thing to my ex mother in law. He had turned his kids against her. When I met my ex in my case, he and his younger brother were just getting back into his mom's life. So the
Mm.
ex father in law had done this exact same thing to my ex mother in law. But when I met them, they were divorced and both remarried.
Mhm.
Now, I did meet the biological mother, and I do know that the biological father has mental disease.
After 9 months, your kid is born. You stay with him. And
Mhm.
I think I can add, I think I can, let me bring the viewers to this right off the bat. This is a judge-free show. So what that means is in order to understand before you start saying stupid stuff like, I would have left a long time ago. I would have did this. It shoulda, coulda, woulda. If you're unaware of the word narcissist, you don't know what you're dealing with. And you see what I'm saying? So I'm letting the viewers know that offhand
Right,
before they start saying to you in their mind, well, I would have left. Well, you don't know what you would have did because
right.
you didn't know what you was dealing with. So you stay in the relationship for 9 months, hoping that maybe he might change. 9 months, your child is born. What happens after the child is born?
I will tell you something important though. When I was pregnant, he went on a tear one night. He destroyed everything in our apartment. I did call the police. They pulled him over. He got a DWI. His mother showed up the next day. I was packed and she begged me to stay. She said she would put him through rehab, made me all these promises. I think about that all the time because it just makes me sick. His parents were well off. His father was an executive at a very big company in Texas. And I just thought these were good people. And when his mom asked me to stay and said she would put him through rehab, it was a couple of months before I had my baby. She did not do that. Another empty promise. So I had my child and I was 39 and all I cared about was my son. I just wanted my son. I wanted lots of kids, but I was in my late 30s now. So I just took care of my son. I did what it took to raise my son. Look, a lot of it was embarrassment. I was embarrassed that I had made this decision. And I didn't have a family that I could turn to for help. He
Didn't
wiped
you
me out.
say, didn't you say your mom moved to the town?
My mom had moved to that town. That's why I was first there. I was in and out of that town just visiting my mom and dad. That's how I met this guy. I met
Okay.
him and then a year later ran into him again. And that's when he saw me and said, "Oh, I'm never going to let you go." Now, see, that's a red flag. I'm never gonna let you go now that I see you, and I've told people it's kinda like a romantic comedy, right? If you look at a romantic comedy, all that stuff's real cute and romantic, but a lot of it is very red flag. I mean,
Mhm.
think about it. So he locked me in. I got married to him. I got pregnant. I was embarrassed. I did not have a support system. And I just felt sorry for him. And I did eventually leave him. But it
What
was
was